Are you determined enough to fight for what you want? I'm going through major lessons lately, and I want to share this with you because I want to hear from the spiritual community, maybe not specifically the spiritual community, but more so of people who have been in dynamics where um it's been like God's timing, right? So, a little bit of a background here of what I've been dealing with. I have been dealing with somebody that I believe is a high level soulmate to me, and we have come in and out of each other's lives for our entire lives, right? And every time, because it's like I laugh because of God's timing, like the irony of God and how He's placed me and this person together over time, right? So every time we like have like this connection together, something comes in between, right? So then the last time, like when we were adolescents, somebody came in between us. When we were in our 20s and we kind of like, kind of came back together very, very briefly, I was the one that walked away. And now we've reconnected again recently, and now he's the one that's walking away. And I was sitting here and I'm like, okay, I am always moving through motions. There are definitely major lessons that I'm learning here for myself, for my own growth, right? And I'm at a place in my soul's evolution where I'm now, I love you, where I'm now questioning, okay, why is it this like pull and push? Like we literally, it's like magnets coming together and then repelling, right? Like we keep doing that. So I'm just kind of like curious, like, okay, in the bigger picture of everything, why does that keep happening? What's going on? Like, and because I've been having a really hard time, it's like a depth of emotion, like a soul level like ache. It's not just like a physical like, okay, whatever, right? Like, because I'm very spiritually evolved in that manner where I'm connected to my higher self enough to feel the energetic motions of the commotion, right? So as I'm moving through this, now my team is telling me that the reason that we keep getting pulled apart is because both of us had signed up for a lesson to are you determined enough to fight for what makes you happy, for what you love? Because each of us choose to not do that. Because each of us choose to not readily, openly say that. So, like the last time when I walked away, I was not ready. I turned my back and I walked out. And so that's what's happening here with him. And so it's so funny how God's timing is working, because nothing seems to be aligned in that manner, in the timing, because we are supposed to want to fight. Because I think a major lesson for many of us is like, we're a soul having a human experience, right? So, but because we are on this plane of existence, right, we're seeing this reality with our eyes. This is our experience that we're currently, going through. We're not looking with this eye, right? We leave this eye out and we only focus on this eye. And so what happens here is that many of us in these connections, what do you want to fight for? Are you willing to fight for it? So the reason I'm speaking on this is because I'm so curious if there's anybody else that has gone through these motions, if because I have, gone out of my way to, I guess I would say, fight, right? I didn't want this connection to slip away, because we discussed that, right? Like, we're not going to let each other slip away again. It's happened so many times. Like, we're going to consciously choose this, but then timing became a factor again, right? So timing came in again and disrupted things. Something came in. There's an outside factor. There's something outside of us that's blocking us from choosing, from staying, right? It's the repelling. I just heard spiritual warfare, so that's very real here as well. But that's up to our spirit, our soul, right, to choose. Am I going to choose to fight for my happiness? Am I going to choose to fight the battle? Do I want to battle for something that makes me happy, right? So if you've learned this life lesson, how do you maneuver through this, right? Because me, who I am today, I am willing to fight, but I can't, change that person's view, or I can't make them do something that they're not willing or ready to do, right? So I'm just curious on how that plays out at the end of the day, like when you're surrendering, when you're detaching, when you're just allowing that flow to happen, but to know that that is the main soul's lesson. So am I learning the lesson even if that person is not, like, choosing the same, right? Like, how does that unfold in the grander scheme of things? If, like, did I already just learn the lesson and that was a lesson I was supposed to learn, right? I'm so curious. So if you have any insight on that, comment below. I'm really curious on how that works, because I know that God's timing and divine timing is a very, very real thing. But here in this realm, we see timing in a different manner, right? So it's funny, the irony of timing, in this connection for us. And ultimately, it's had me move through so many wounds. And I'm so grateful for that beyond whatever happens. But it's so funny that it's basically like two souls have signed up for the same lesson together. And so how do you do it together if people keep bouncing away from each other, right? It's interesting.